Happy Monday afternoon, everyone. I'm King 5 Meteorologist Adam Claibon. So the weekend, it did bring back the cooler weather, rain and snow here for some spots early into the morning. Now, I have some encouraging signs that are showing up on some models here as we go deeper on into the month that does show some of that warming coming back to the area. So that's something we're going to go over, but we're going to have to go over to next few days, which does look like it is going to stay cooler, especially today where we have a lot of the clouds around the rain and some of those snowflakes in place too. But I wanted to show you kind of this encouraging look as you look at the Skagit Valley Tulip Festival forecast here over the next few days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I know the sky looks so beautiful and blue. You can see the tulips just blooming. Not the case right now. I've heard that the tulips are still somewhat closed, so if you are heading up over the next few days, not going to get the best view of the flowers, but hopefully here as we go over the next few weeks, we are going to start to see those really begin to blossom. Temperatures upper 40s, lower 50s as we go throughout the next few days. If you're heading up there to Skagit County, again, just make sure to grab something warm for your drive. Now, Bellingham, you can see this cloudy skies, they are firmly in place. Let's take a look at another spot, and that will be in Tacoma. And you can see dark cloudy skies there, maybe a few light raindrops too. Some snowflakes have been reported in some of the foothills here for Pierce County, but overall I think our forecast is looking like it's going to be rather cloudy and chilly, and just a few light sprinkles. Again, most of it should stay in that form. Westport, as you get out closer to the coast, we actually do have more sun, and it's looking really nice. A little wave action too, which will have some of those breezy winds show up at the tail end of the day here, which will probably coincide right in time for the start of the Mariners' next series against the Angels later on this evening. First pitch is going to be at 6:40, so you can see breezy winds around that time. Temperatures still chilly, mid to upper 40s. We might keep the roof closed for tonight, I'm thinking, and those numbers dropping down to the low 40s by the time you get ready to head home later on tonight. And highs, well, they are going to stay much cooler than average, at least for the next 3 days, 4 days if you include today, as we'll be around the low 50s and upper 40s. Friday, we start to bounce back up to the mid 50s, and Saturday at 58 degrees. Check out that average high temperature of 57 degrees. I want you to keep that in mind right there, because I'm going to show you something here very shortly, which will mean that we probably will see quite a few numbers above that mark as we maybe head into more the middle part of the month. So rainfall here so far today has been right around 1/10 of an inch. Not really much spots or many spots seeing anything too higher than that. And the precipitation, while it has been limited and relatively light, has been coming down quite steadily here across parts of Puget Sound and closer to the Admiralty Inlet. And you can see up there around more of Whidbey, Camino Island, still keeping some areas of light rain, maybe mixing with snow at time here and there, and seeing some of those areas of white too, Maple Valley, Black Diamond, getting around Renton, maybe even Issaquah, seeing some areas of light snow mixing in, but generally it's just been light rain as it continues to head its way farther to the south. So we'll have more systems later on into the week, and the next one that's coming in will bring in more of a warm front, which will at least start to bring numbers back up into the 50s and back to the mid and upper 50s by late week. You can see the activity for the rest of today will be kind of hit or miss and really more off and on in nature. We go deep into the night, and then early tomorrow, still keeping some of those showers around, maybe a few snowflakes again late tonight into your early Tuesday, but then trying to dry out as we go throughout the rest of the day on Tuesday. And then by the time we head into late tomorrow night, into Tuesday night, early into Wednesday, here we are at 12:30, early Wednesday morning. You can see things are dry, but then we go throughout the day on Wednesday, starting off dry, those clouds beginning to build back into the area again, and this is going to be more of a widespread steady rain that comes in later into your Wednesday evening and throughout your Wednesday night, and that one will be, yes, associated with that warm front that will come on through. So additional rain to come along with that here. It does look like it is going to be getting closer to about 1/2 an inch, but up until that point, this is through Wednesday at 4 a.m., you can see amounts between 1/10 of an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch in some very harder hit spots. And then you can see as far as any sort of additional snows we might see, maybe the highest amounts up over the Olympics, where we could pick up about 1/2 foot. Otherwise, maybe an inch or 2 or 3 is all we'll be able to muster here throughout the next few days. But I did want to show you this. Now, this is the Climate Prediction Center's 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, and this is taking into account what we might see throughout the dates of April the 11th through April the 17th. So more of your mid-April sort of outlook, and you can see the orange colors beginning to show back up, and that is indicating warmer than average conditions expected here across parts of the Pacific Northwest. And if you can remember, I did say that average high of 57, it gets up to around 58, 59 degrees. That means if we are above average, more days than not, we'll probably see more 60s ahead as opposed to a lot of these low 50s to upper 40s. Good news for those of us who are warm weather fans. And as far as precipitation, doesn't look like we're going to see much more than where we should normally be. That will be closer to average as we head on into those same days between the 11th through the 17th of April, as we'll see drier than normal conditions farther south where they probably do need it, down there into Nevada and down into California where they'll be able to dry out just a bit more. Today's forecast, keep an eye out for a few snowflakes and a few light raindrops, but otherwise I think not dealing with anything too heavy. Upper 40s to low 50s, keep something warm, nice and handy and nearby. We'll top off at 50 in Seattle, 49 in Monroe, 48 in Everett, and highs farther south around some of the same marks, maybe just a bit warmer around Tacoma, Gig Harbor, and around Federal Way. Enumclaw, Eatonville will top off at about 47 degrees. And your forecast here over the next 7-day stretch, Mariners in town for not only tonight, but for the next couple of nights as they go up against the Angels. So make sure to dress warm if you're heading out to those games. We get into Thursday. That will be a rainier day for us with that system moving on through, but it's behind that warm front that we eventually start to see things get back into the upper 50s to lower 60s as we head on into the upcoming weekend. We probably start to see some drier weather and hopefully a little more sunshine by that time too. Spring, I know we are now beginning to head into the month of April, and we would like to see things reflect and look a lot more like spring. So I hope you guys stay as warm as possible here for today, because we have warmer weather later on into the week, and also stay as dry as possible and keep an eye out for some of those breezy winds if you're out here around between about 5 to 8 o'clock this evening. We'll have more updates as we go throughout the week, so make sure to keep it right here as we give you all the latest on your weather that will be happening here across Western Washington. Take care.